We are now live.
Hello,
Hello.
everybody. How are you? Kelly's drinking her coffee, trying to wake up because I got her doing the vlog early in the morning. So, how's everybody doing? We're gonna actually be releasing two vlogs in the next couple of days, probably like a day in between each other. We're gonna do a big casting vlog,
We
which
will
is
release them as soon as my Mac allows me to release them. Let's put it that way. My machine's a little ancient.
But we're gonna be releasing a casting vlog, which is all about you're gonna hear about some exits, and Kelly has stickers on because of
Patrick's
that.
party. Okay. I'm a 3-year-old.
But the exciting thing about well, this vlog, I guess we could tell you guys what this vlog is about because we're totally kind of like blah.
It's the
This
morning.
vlog is totally all about the ball. We won't go through every single episode. Oh my gosh,
That'd be a
but
lot of scenes.
it will be a lot of scenes. But we're gonna hit on probably part four a lot. And then we're gonna talk about major points that we wanted to do in the ball for the characters in the storyline. So this is gonna be a kind of, as you see, I'm in bed. I don't feel that well today. Um, so I called off work and I'm skipping. So I was like, well, since I called off work, we can
Vlog.
vlog and write all day. Yay!
Yes.
um, we're here. I guess we're gonna start off talking about the ball. When we originally constructed the ball, um, we kind of always wanted to be a event that was likened to, if you guys have read about us and talked to us. Sunny, hush up. Sorry, I'm talking to the dog, guys. Um, if you've read and seen our blog, we were very inspired by Game of Thrones, and this was our red wedding. This was our moment to get to do some crazy stuff and let the, the flag
I
wave.
say the fur flag, but
Yeah, well, that too. But I guess I guess what we should jump right into and talk about is Audrey's death because it was the biggest
yes.
moment for the ball, and it's probably our biggest moment to date. Um, we of course always are trying to upstage ourselves. So you might get at the season finale, you might get like 20 characters dead. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yes.
I'm
I've blown up a
kidding,
hotel
guys.
before.
Kelly would love it, but I'm kidding.
Kelly would blow up a hotel again.
Kelly can blow up a hotel again. I'm personally saying no to
Yes.
blowing up a hotel full of our
Damn
characters.
it.
But Audrey's death actually came.
Kind of last minute.
It was last
It
minute, and
was.
then
It's
but
fun.
we've always have planned Audrey's death. It was actually supposed to be a
In season 3, I
season
think.
long arc where she had a bucket list and she was gonna hide it from Forbes and she was gonna hide it from Philip and Cassie up into Cassie's wedding to somebody. I won't tell you who, what we were gonna plan because it's kind of like it can circle back around into that storyline. But um, we were kind of always planning on killing Audrey off, and we knew that we wanted her. We wanted her gone. Well, not gone because we loved Audrey character. She was
Yes.
amazing character to write for me, and to play against Forbes and play against so many other characters. She was so fun to write for. However, from the moment I created, well, I guess it's a we created her.
You came up with the idea for it.
Well, I came up with the
It's all
idea.
good. You created
We
her.
came up with the Philip idea.
I
So,
did.
um, so like, but from the moment we hold on, have created Audrey, it's been oh, okay. That was you texting me.
It's a little late to get to you.
I know, right? From the moment we created her, we kind of had this vision that she was gonna go and was gonna lead to Forbes becoming our. Well, we kind of have two big bads right now, but Forbes becoming even more of our dark
Yes.
horse and our Trojan horse.
Audrey has always been Forbes' humanity.
Yes, and the fact that we stripped that of him,
It's very emotional, and I love it.
it's emotional, and it's probably one of our strongest moments to me.
Yes, I would agree with
From Well, I don't know, like episode 3 of the ball was kind of really good, and then episode
that. 4,
4 was even
we
better.
smacked
So,
everyone with episode 4.
but I don't know. Like, I don't know how fans. Well, fans have been overwhelmingly, and we appreciate this,
Yes,
very
they've all been
responsive.
very excited about the
Yeah, they're
direction.
very excited to see what we're gonna do, and we're very excited to show you
Yes.
guys what's coming up. Um, I guess we can give you a couple of little small spoilers. Um, in the next couple of episodes, you're gonna be seeing Philip, Cassie, and Forbes and the Montgomery family in a whole reeling in a way that we've never quite seen them. And what we're really excited for is Cassie and Philip and Forbes because they really are the ones that's truly deeply affected by this. Whereas Lex is affected, but not as much as where what Philip would be affected, or and so on and so on. We really are excited for you guys to see what's coming up for them because because Philip by far goes on the best journey from this. Like by far, Philip character has been the one who's evolved over and over and
Yeah.
over, and this is just another evolution of him. And this time, it's not an evolution for the good,
Yeah.
and I can say that for sure. Him losing his mother, much like Forbes, was a piece of his humanity. However, I think Cassie holds that other piece,
Yes.
and we're gonna see those clicking a lot more than what we have. In many ways, they're all each other have, and we're
Left,
in.
yeah. And I think that's a good beat to play. They're brother and sister, and they're literally the only part to their mother they have left is each other, and I think that's really
Well, well,
Hey, no big spoilers. You'll
Okay.
get that in the next video, people.
okay, but Audrey's death was very last minute to the game.
I think we decided, like, right as we were writing the scene, weren't we, like, halfway through, like, episode 4, we're like, should we kill Audrey now?
And we thought it would be kind of a cop out for nothing major to happen when Tess was released from it.
Sorry.
It was totally a cop out to have her just released and
Mom, let's go
not
right here.
do something that gives her
Go
merit
here.
to be big bad bitch that excuse me, Patrick, that she is.
He's watching Blaze the Monster Machines. I get another sticker.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead.
But
It would have been a cop out should Tess have not got her revenge.
And then we thought about the drawn out year long storyline that we were going to try to do with Tess and we were going to try to do with Tess. I mean, not Tess, Audrey being sick with cancer. And yes, it could have been beautifully done and it could have been beautifully written and executed. But in many ways, I don't feel like Audrey
Okay, go ahead.
is a character that should be kind of. I just don't feel like it was worth it. It was. We got more punch out of it this way. We got more impact out of it this way, and we got a stronger story. So yes, Audrey was always slated to die. It was just a matter of when and where, and we pushed it up to season 2.
The
And we're
storyline
actually,
had a fit for her to die.
it did. It all fit into play, and I knew that Pierre was gonna kind of. Oh, Patrick, your nose. You're in it.
Yeah.
Oh, gross.
He's showing you all his bouncy ball. This is what he got for his birthday party. He's very excited about it. Go bounce. Okay, you showed. Good job. Go play with it. Okay, you're good.
But we just really felt like it was
time.
It was time, and we kind of knew that some other things were going to happen at the ball to amp up the ball even more.
Yes.
We wanted it to be a shifting event. I guess Kelly, you can speak about Harvey and Pierre because we're gonna
I love it.
encompass the whole ball up in kind of one
we always knew the Leclerc brothers were going to arrive. We just didn't know when. And I think originally they were supposed to come in like season 4 or something.
Yes. Oh my god.
So we moved that up. And we've been dropping hints since like season 1 about like this huge like murder mystery, which I will say like for a past murder mystery we've done a pretty good job with the Walter thing. Hallelujah. And so we always kind of knew like they had to come for that like whole story to come full circle. Yeah, and it really does incorporate every single like major family on the campus, which I really love. It's like an umbrella story. And so Harvey arrived, I think in part. Okay, come here in part 2, and then Pierre arrived in part 1 or 2.
1.
Yeah, he showed up before Harvey did. Harvey brought his.
Well, he showed up before Harvey. We know that.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Like, we just write, and I don't remember.
We don't. We just roll with it now. And so yeah, they're both game changers. I feel like Harvey's kind of that
dashing hero.
He's the dashing hero, but he's also a really good business rival for Lowell, which me and Chris love playing that dynamic already, so I'm really excited to write that. And then
it's already fun.
I totally just go like wow.
Each other, yeah.
Anyway, we have some fun stuff planned for that. And then we have like Pierre, who's like, in a way he's worse than Forbes, okay?
Pierre's done some heinous shit.
He has. He's like, if y'all have read, he's very, like, he's kept his brother away from his kid, okay? Not that his brother didn't keep him away from Greer, but still, it's the same thing. And I like...
It's a ping pong.
It is a ping pong. And I feel like that's a really different relationship that we have on the show. You have Chauncey and Jackson, but they're not really that, like, heinous towards each other yet.
No, they're not.
Not sure if they're ever going to get that heinous.
I think they're going to be rivals. But I don't ever
they're
think
not
they're
like heinous.
To the point where they just all out just try to ruin each other like Harvey and Pierre have.
And same thing with David and Forbes. They have like that tension, but it's not I'm gonna set out to destroy your life type thing.
Yeah.
Well, okay. No spoilers.
I'm sorry. Okay,
good job. Okay. And so sorry, I'm talking to Patrick about his home, and he asked for his home when he rides on his bouncy ball. Anyway, so I'm really excited for them, and I like the fan response to them was really welcoming because they are 2 new characters, but they've been mentioned like since season 1.
Yeah.
Like every like time we can get a chance, we always hinted about them or. Yeah.
Yeah. We've been hinted about since our beginning, and we've been on air for 2 years now, so like that's a lot of time for fans to be reading about these 2 characters and not get to see them. And like Forbes bought the Leclerc building. I think that was like those are little things that we do, Easter eggs, I guess you would call them in our universe, where we kind of throw out Easter eggs. And
then we also Lauren's diary. At the end of season 1, her diary entry we released. And then we also had the prison mentioned, this mysterious man who was locked away from Agnes and Lauren. And so it was I'm very excited for them.
I just want to thank everybody because I was so nervous about Pierre. Like, I don't think you guys understood. No, seriously, because Kelly had wrote Forbes to be, I guess, our first big bad on our series, and he was so well received. So just bringing on this new guy who's Greer's daddy and Danny's uncle, and he's this big character, and he's this impactful character, and he'll make a boom. I was nervous. Because he could have come off as a fake Forbes or a campy Forbes, and I didn't want that. I wanted Pierre to be just as chilling, and if not a little more than Forbes.
He is a little more. Yeah, he's definitely. Yeah, he's definitely darker than Forbes. Currently, not saying the Forbes won't go down that road at some point, but.
Well, as we just stated, he's lost his humanity.
I know. So very interesting.
For savvy readers, nobody has quite picked up on it, but if you want to reread The Ball and anything to do with Audrey, we left major Easter eggs in her last few posts.
We did.
About what's kind of to come for the Montgomery Molotov connection, clan and connection. So if you guys want to re-look, it's a really big Easter egg in like the next episode. The Easter egg comes into fruition.
What did you want to say about Harvey and Pierre?
I just don't know what we're talking about.
What did you want to say about Harvey and Pierre? Yeah, I know you have something to say about that whole thing.
For everybody who kind of wants the self-destructive Greer, you're gonna get her in 10. She's gonna set the canvas on fire soon, and she's gonna do something that could possibly get her in a lot of danger with Forbes. She's gonna be trying to play her daddy, but fall into his web, and Harvey is gonna try to probably bring a little humanity to his niece, you know, and what I love about it is Harvey sees good in Greer. And that's something that is interesting, that he sees and I love that certain fans have peeped that she's stuck in between two worlds, where she could be this complete, utter, self-destructive bitch, and she can be this good woman who wants to fight for what's right. She can be like her mom, and she can be something good.
Yeah.
But she's stuck between these two worlds. And for her whole life, she's kind of been on the tilting on the edge of going down that dark path. And now she has somebody to push her. And that's what's fun about Pierre. She has a push to get Greer down that road. But does Greer go down that road? And then as for Harvey, I write Lauren, as many of you fans know.
I love Harvey and Lauren, sorry.
They are just this storybook couple that couldn't get it right. And it's kind of sad because all the stuff
Lauren was dealt a shitty hand, okay?
Yeah, like, she deserves to have her good ending with Harvey. But as you know on Blissful, we don't give a lot of good endings.
We don't.
We don't give that many and that few between. So, we're going to try to let them build before we have everything come crashing.
I think they have a lot to work through.
Yeah, so it's going to be...
The whole family's a mess.
Well, you know, the LeClercs kind of come back and they shake up the dynamic of the town. We bring in a new company. Well, 2 new companies are actually coming. But we bring in a new company. And one company is really going to be aimed at kind of taking on DGI and money.
Hey, turn that light back on. Sorry, Patrick turned up the light. Well, I know you're not afraid, but I'm trying to record. Please?
Nope.
Yes?
Nope. Nope. Okay, nope. No, Mom, don't turn the lights off.
I have to. I'm talking to Chris. Okay, if you turn this off again, I will spank you.
Oh. That is the best Blissful camp.
Sorry, people. Ha! I win. You can turn the lights off. I have extra lights that you can't reach. Sorry, these 3. Okay, go ahead. The companies, yes.
What I really like about Harvey and Lauren, though, is they have this undying, unwavering love for each other, and they've had it. And I guess we can announce that we're doing a flashback episode, right?
We're doing a few of them. It's going to be really exciting.
We're actually doing a mini-series event. Well, we were going to do a mini-series for season 3. We kind of thought it would actually play better in season 2 for the flashback and everything. And we weren't going to do a flashback. It was just going to be a mini-series event in season 3. But now we kind of scrapped that and kind of went straight for this kind of... And we're actively casting all the adults as
younger selves.
So if you guys have any ideas or you guys want to see a certain actor or actress maybe play email us because we're very open. We haven't casted anyone, but we actually did.
We did.
Chad Boswick is actually gonna play Tony, and we know that for fact. And we actually know Nicole Bahari is gonna play Gloria. So we actually have our Gloria and our Tony already.
I
And
like-
you guys get to meet Gloria,
Yes.
which is we're completely excited
Because she's so
about.
dead on her show.
I know she's super dead.
Because
And
she's always mentioned like so much.
the drunken douchebag that he is.
Yes, we can
so
finally get to see Walter in his glory.
yeah, you get to see Walter in all his like glory and his badassness. Because Walter wasn't a good guy, and I think that's
I know,
what's
I'm so sad to reveal that in part 4. Anyway.
I know. So we're actively casting all the adults on our series as 20-somethings and 30-somethings, and it's actually quite funny and fun. So, if you have an idea on who should play who, and just jot us an email. But back to the ball.
Okay, back to the yes. By the way, the flashback episodes I'm so excited about because...
I know, we are.
Okay, I know I have to say something about this.
We had to.
Okay, we had to, and I know that Chris and I are really excited because we finally get to, like, step back into time, so to speak, and kind of show everyone
You're actually
what
gonna see
happened,
the-
like...
You're actually going to see the murder mystery unfold, which is something that I'm pretty sure all fans of Blissful would want. We're going to do a 4, was it 4 or 5?
I think 5, because Lowell, Tony, Pierre,
Yeah.
Harvey...
It was
Forbes.
5.
Forbes.
Oh, duh.
So each of those guys kind of get like their own little episode where they'll. I think I don't know how many scenes we're gonna do, but we're gonna show like the progression of how Walter got murdered, and I think it's gonna be very exciting. And you get to learn all about the little past connection with all the families and all the adults in the 80s and how crazy it was, and
And then you get to see the birth of like certain feuds. You get to see why Forbes hates Lowell. You get to see why Agnes and Lauren are going at each other's throats like hot cats in heat. Like,
and you get to see why like Lauren hates the Devonshires, and you get to see like I don't know, it's just
why the Devonshires chose Agnes over Lauren, and it's just so many.
so
beats.
soapy. So
Yeah,
soapy.
you get to see all the beats. That's the point, and it's kind of like really fun to play. Like you get to see Audrey and Forbes as youth, and Forbes is a youth. He was a cad. I mean, he has like 4 different baby mamas.
He has like 4 different wives. I mean, it's crazy.
Like he has 4 different baby mamas. So Forbes at one point was a romantic. So.
And I like that we get to show those different sides to the characters, like, and how they evolved into now, and I think that's important. And yes,
So you totally
should we-
we're really happy.
should we talk about the pub next? Because that's like the next big thing on the show.
That
That
damn-
poor Brayden. They just need a room there.
Okay, well the Frasers need a hospital wing. They need a whole wing for themselves. Because we keep injuring the Frasers, and it's kind of funny.
It's kind of funny.
It's like me and Kelly's little secret recurring joke, but you guys now know about it, so it's not a secret recurring
It was
joke.
funny. I think my husband, Dan pointed out, he's like, they should just get a room there.
Yeah, like they need their own.
Is
I guess
Brayden
also-
going to die? We've got that a lot. We cannot say, however, he may be missing for a few episodes.
I guess we can start off with Brayden, I guess. Brayden's gonna be missing for a couple episodes, that's all I can say. Now, if you're gonna get a funeral or you're gonna get something else, I'm not gonna open my mouth and dare say it, but you might get a wedding soon enough. Yeah, it's gonna be a shocking surprise wedding, so concerning the Frasers.
Poor Brayden.
The,
That bub is a mess.
yeah, the pub is a mess, and we can't tell you who exactly gets it, but by the end of the season, you'll know who has the pub, and it will be between Lowell, the Leclerc brothers, or Forbes. One of them 3 will get the pub, and it's gonna be really a shock on who gets it and why, and what's the storyline behind it. But if Brayden does miraculously survive being drugged by LSD, or overdosing amount of drugs by LSD, I don't think he will wake up the exact same. Now, do you,
Carrying
Kelly?
guy, no. And I love that. Okay, we got a lot of questions about it. Brayden is still a good guy. He just has shades of gray.
Well, okay, here's the thing. I don't think he has that many shades of gray. And this is why I say that.
Interesting.
Because, in all honesty, if you had Pierre Leclerc for a stepfather or your half sibling, you wouldn't be telling them either.
I know.
You
So,
wouldn't be telling them either. Like, you would be trying to hide that fact
And I
too.
think-
So,
and I think fans understood that, and that's why it was such a shocking moment that, like, this upstanding guy, like, lied to pretty much everyone their entire life, and he...
well, and Selena has known, and I think that's another beat. That's
Selena
another
and Brayden, they're
connection.
cursed. They're
I know.
cursed. They're
They're
cursed.
so connected, it's unbelievable. But and like somebody else pointed out, I don't believe that they've made it that long with all these secrets.
It's a miracle they still even like each other.
Like each other, exactly. But I'm totally. See, me and Kelly are still Berlina fans. And if you don't know who Berlina is, it's Brayden and Selena. And we're still totally Berlina fans. But we both know that at this point, they need a break. And it was so much happened between those two that it's just exhausting for them as characters and for us as writers to write that.
They're
after
sad
a while.
when we write.
It's sad, and it's like even those little moments where she was at the hospital and she was like my Brayden, and she was saying those things, and it's just powerful and impactful for them. And they're just I know, Pat, you're sniffing too. I know.
No, that's the cats fighting.
Well, see, the cats are sniffing, but it's just really one of those really good stories that we hold on to. And we want to keep their connection alive and strong throughout the series.
And I like that in the ball that we got a lot of comments that everyone really liked Brayden's breakdown.
Yeah.
Like, it was all done through the eyes of a 12-year-old kid. And it was just like...
Spoke up against for them too. Brayden and Tamla.
Yeah. And I think that's good. I think that they should finally get their chance, so to speak.
Yeah, and I'm really happy about that. So it's
Yes.
really cool that we finally got... We're getting to get Brayden and Selena air away from each other, and they're getting these second chance stories.
Yes.
As you speak. Second chance in love.
Yes.
But back to the pub.
It's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's a mess that now has Danny in the center of it. Because since Brayden is out of it, and legally she is because Walter signed her birth certificate,
And he adopted her legally.
and he adopted her legally, she is a Fraser, but biologically she's a Leclerc. So she does have power over the pup. And so
With Mama out and Brayden out, it's all on little Danny's head.
And Brayden's out of commission. That leaves Danny. And we're going to see Forbes interacting with Danny, Pierre and Harvey interacting with Danny, and Lowell
How
interacting
did you see that?
in the next couple of episodes. So you're going to be seeing a lot of Danny finally getting in a business story. But here's the twist. You're going to see Greer going at her throat even worse now, because Danny has the power of the pub. Greer has the power of all three companies. So now these two have even more to hate each other about. It's going to be really fun to see those two clash as cousins.
Yes.
And I think I can reveal that they're cousins, because
Yeah.
we're definitely
I
not
think
doing-
we already stated that Pierre knows, but we are going to reveal that Harvey finds out that Danny's his daughter. So
Yeah.
I think like that happens in like 42 or something.
We're on
Spoiler: Harvey has a little clout there,
So, like, we're really
pushing it. Like,
we're pushing this story to have Chauncey versus Cheer versus Jenny.
Danny. And yes, okay, Jenny is not breaking up people. You can stop
Okay,
asking
yeah,
about it.
okay, we can get to Jenny next.
Because they're not breaking up.
They aren't breaking up, guys. That's one thing you gotta.
Yes.
They have, this is one thing I'm really excited about, that they're now facing everything as a couple and as a team. And every journey that they'll go through, they're gonna face it as a team, much like Cheer will too. And just because Lowell killed her dad,
I know. It's so sad to say that out loud.
a group of very rich men killed her dad. I won't just say Lowell. We can't just single out
No,
Lowell.
no, no.
A group of very rich men killed her daddy. That doesn't mean Jackson is at fault for that.
No.
And yeah, he knew, but at the same time, she gets, and you'll see in the next episode that she gets it. She gets why he didn't tell her, and she gets it. She's hurt that he kept another secret, but it's not one of those secrets that is a destroying of their relationship.
Yeah, no.
This is Janny's ending, so you guys can forget that.
And I think fans were concerned because she was going through a lot at the ball. Like, she didn't have anything.
Like 3 things hit her back to back. Like, Walter's not your daddy, I am. Braden's going crazy, and now Lowell killed
helped demonstrate Walter's demise. And I think more so from her perspective, Lowell never helped them. And I think that's, like, hurtful to her. Like, dude, like, excuse me, like, and I think that's the difference between them. Like,
well, I think what they're going to start revealing now is Walter's gray. And because we kind of push sugar
Mom,
over
will you
Walter.
give me some cake?
go get some.
I want to.
Okay, go get some. Go eat some candy.
Halloween? Okay.
Go ahead.
We kind of sugar coated a lot of
Walter. And that was intentional too, though.
That was very intentional. So you're going to kind of start to see that Walter wasn't all that sugar and candy and lollipops either. And he did some things, and he was in love with Jackie, which we kind of revealed now. You know, and so many other beats in Walter's story that we haven't revealed yet, how he's done some things. And there might be another Frasier or 2 out.
Maybe. See.
So we don't know, and well, we do know.
They're not breaking up. I get a lot of questions about that.
So, but the pub is about to be, that story is about to heat up even more than what happened at the ball, because now you have Danny in the center of the mix, and Danny's a Devonshire now, which is actually really cool. Will she let the Devonshires drown, or will she save them? Or will she sell it to her newfound dad, who she actually feels a connection to? She feels a slight connection to, you know what I mean? Like, already, she feels something for Harvey already. Now to find out that he's actually helped them throughout the years. And
I like that the difference, I think, between Danny and Greer with their dads, and I think this is something a lot of people point out, Greer had all the money, all the clothing, all the status, so to speak, as, like, adopted Devonshire, so to speak, by Lowell and those guys. But she didn't have that father figure.
I feel like Max wouldn't allow Lowell to be Greer's father figure.
Yeah, but she still had that. They tried. Does that make sense?
And I don't think that they truly reached out to Greer when she needed it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And in her foundation years. I mean, Greer watched her dad walk away from her. Much like Erica Kane, that's when I say that she had a lot of Erica in her. Because she watched her dad walk away from him. And, Linus walk away.
Yeah. And then
she watched Linus walk away. And that scarred her for life. And then to come back and now find out that she has a real father. And this guy wants her. That's something that plays with those childhood emotions that's pulled inside of her. Whereas Danny, it's a little bit of reverse, because she didn't have her dad for long, but she has enough of the memories of him.
I want my tomato.
She does, and she has that, and I think in the ball she even said, like, I had a dad and you were fine with killing him, like, hello, like, and I also think for her, like, her and Brayden struggled, like, once Lauren went away, like, they struggled, and I think that's been mentioned a lot, and I think in a way she's jealous. The Greer had that stability.
I think
she didn't.
It's kind of the reverse.
It is. It's interesting. It's interesting.
It's really interesting. Whereas Greer had everything, she didn't have what Danny had, and where Danny had, Greer had everything financially, but she didn't have the love and support that Danny had from a male figure, which is kind of why you see Greer jumping from guy to guy, and she has this history where she's jumped from guy to guy. I mean, she did it right on canvas. She went from Jackson, she went from David to Jackson to Chauncey. So
Whereas Danny had that stability with her brother. Like,
she had
Brayden tried the best he could.
yeah, and she had stability from a male influence, whereas Greer didn't. And that's something really unique to both of these characters. Greer had a mom, Danny had a dad. And that's the reverse of them. And
It's fun to play, and I'm so looking forward to it. Like, their rivalry is going to be just...
They've had nasty little... They've had kind of like... Well, it wasn't recently, a couple of episodes back when they were kind of going at each other's throats. They had moments where they said that. Like, you had a mom, and you had a dad, so... What are you saying? It's no different. Like, they're really going to be... coming up. They're really going to be... at each other because now they're heiresses and they actually have a stake in this war that they're going through.
And I think it's interesting that they actually have to go work at the company, so to speak. Like, they're both part of sex now. Like,
yeah, they're part of a company now, and it's really fun. And what else do we have to? Where were we going after? The pub? I guess we can go into Rory, Brooke, and Aria.
yes, that would be a perfect one to go into.
Okay, let's go into that. A lot of people haven't really noticed. Rory deflowered Aria and slept with Brooke in one night.
Man, that boy. That boy. I'll call him a boy.
One
He's
thing
still
I
growing.
really- yeah, and one thing I'm really enjoying about Rory at this point is he's the closest to Lowell in a way than all of his sons. He's a good guy, but he makes these dumb choices. And whereas I feel like Chauncey kind of has all of Lowell's darkness,
He does.
Jackson has more of Jackie in him,
Jackson has a heart. Even though he does have Lowell's business savvy.
but he has Lowell's business savvy. Max has Lowell's business savvy, and she has the coldness of Lowell.
Yeah.
Whereas Bliss to me has more of Lowell.
I think Bliss is the wild card. I'm
Yeah,
interested to see her in DGI. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Well, fans really went, whoa, Bliss, like on the last scene.
When she threw the Frasers under the bus.
Yeah, like we could throw the Frasers under the bus if we have to, but we're not losing
What do you need
this,
help with?
you know, and Bliss showed her cuttingness. So it's kind of cool to see Bliss slowly transforming into all the rest of them.
Okay.
And that's kind of fun.
Keep talking. I'll be back in 1 minute.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, first and foremost with Rory and Aria, we really wanted a sweet, beautiful love scene that was funny and caring and tender and very poetic. And I think we accomplished that with Aria and Rory, hands down, because they were the first couple. This was our first time, and it should have been sweet, and it should have been innocent, and it should have been beautiful. And I think we accomplished that perfectly. In contrast, we got this raunchy sex scene that was a little awkward to write by myself, may I add, but we got this raunchy sex scene with Brooke and Rory after Rory was finally confronted by Forbes. And that was something that we all knew that was coming, but I guess fans didn't know when Forbes and Rory were finally going to have this big showdown, and it happened at the ball. It was really good because it kind of sent Rory spiraling. And he got fearful that he was going to lose Aria, and then he got fearful that he was going to lose the app that he's creating that's supposed to be like the new Facebook/music place. And he just got really freaked out by a lot of the things that Forbes was saying, that he would go to jail, and it was really scary for him. And I'm excited. I'm really, really excited to see where this story, for fans to see where this story goes, because we're going to have two young ladies on canvas dealing with both of them having a lot of feelings for Rory. So it's gonna be really cool. And one thing I loved about it, a lot of people pointed, certain people, certain of our fans pointed it out, and then certain of our fans didn't. But the fact that he deflowered Arya and then slept with Brooklyn went so trashily soapy and good. It was just so soapily trashy. Kelly, what do you want to say about this triangle that's brewing? I guess, well, brewed.
I like that it changes all of them, so to speak. I'm all about growth on our series, and I think you're gonna find out Arya has a little bit of a temper in her. And now that she's been hurt, she might just say a few to the world.
I think it's going to be really cool to see a different side of Arya.
And I think Rory is going to attempt to win her back, and she's just not going to have it.
Mm-hmm.
He ruined that whole chance, for now anyway.
For now.
And Brooke, I think she's going to realize that getting everything she wanted is not what she really wanted.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Attention to Madame Nova, she dropped some major hints, and that was the fun of Madame Nova.
She dropped a lot of hints in this episode.
Well, on a lot of the episodes throughout the...
Yes.
She said, Madame Nova said that Brooke has not met her soulmate. And that is a key thing that will stay with Brooke until she realizes maybe that she might have kept two people that should be together apart.
Yes.
But don't expect Brooke to realize that no time soon.
Yeah.
Brooke isn't that. She's very self-serving. She's spoiled. She's narcissistic. But Brooke has this huge heart for Rory. And I think...
Pat gives me over. Go ahead.
One thing we're going to play maybe... Well, I know we're going to play. Even when they're not together, eventually they won't be together. But even when they're not together, Brooke and Rory will have almost a Jason and Carly for the General Hospital fans, or a Michael and Phyllis vibe, if that's what's so to speak. And Brooke really forever loves Rory, and I think that's something that will keep in play. Whereas Arya is the love of Rory's life, but he doesn't know that now. So I guess that's one of the cool beats that we're playing now. Whenever Kelly gets back, we can change the subject. I can quickly talk about Connor and Rachel. They're going to be getting a really cool storyline in season 2. They're going to be on the hunt. Well, Connor is a baseball star, and you're actually going to see something very tragic happen to Connor soon. But Connor and Rachel are going to be our, adventure, funny, comedic couple who has these amazing, adventure storyline where they go and they investigate things. Rachel will slowly but surely be on the hunt for somebody who's really crazy. And that's all I can say about that. But she kind of ends up inadvertently finding out something that lead to so much big stuff happening later down the line. So Rachel and Connor are really the young adult couple to watch in many ways. They're glowy, they're sparkly. They really, really, really remind me almost of a venture couple where we kind of had to break up Casey and Bliss. We'll talk about Kiss coming up too, guys.
They kind of remind me of Frisco and Felicia.
Yes!
Rachel and Connor, that's what they remind me of.
Yes, that's so perfect. I love that. They do remind me of Frisco and Felicia. They're a young Frisco and Felicia. And I kind of get that vibe from Dante and Lulu. Sorry, we're going off topic real quick. But I get that vibe from Dante and Lulu and Maxie and Nathan. But they're going to be a really fun pairing. And Kelly, you can talk a little more about Brooke and Rory and Arya and Connor and Rachel. I thought to add them in at the last minute to help keep the topic along.
I like that at the ball our young adults finally got that bump, so to speak. into that new level of story. Before they were kind of like
wavering.
And then I think I like that we really focused in on that, the triangle, so to speak, and then we really put Rachel and Connor into that more mature, let's give it a try story.
Yeah.
Because I think from their character standpoints, Connor is not going to wait around for Arya to realize that she loves him, or possibly. And then on Rachel, she really wants to fit back in with her family, and I like that her and Connor kind of are there for Arya, so to speak, in the aftermath, and not in a romantic sense, more as friends. And I think that's important, and I like that they may be picking up on a few things that have happened that evening and going forward. And I like that for Connor and Rachel, they're really growing up. Does that make sense? And then for Arya, in a way, she's grown up and she is mature with her career and everything. And I like that this really changes her to not give a crap anymore. Mm-hmm. I think she's been hurt to the point where she just doesn't care, and I think you really see that coming up, and I like that, and it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much away, but she does. She like seriously doesn't give a crap anymore after this.
Until she has to.
Until she has to, and I think that's important, and I think fans are gonna like how it plays out.
Okay, the big break. This is the big breakup.
Kiss.
The fans didn't want to see happen, but it happened, and then we got to see a little bit of Blunt. Yes. Bliss and Hunter. That's what we call Bliss and Hunter, Blunt. Guys, okay, I'm gonna tell you guys, we have nicknames for every couple on our series. Okay, we just it's a soap thing. Olitz. That's Olivia and Fitz. Murder. We kind of took that, and we have every couple has a name in our head. Jackson and Danny is Janny. Chauncey and Greer are Cheer. Lex and Selena are Sex, which I think is so over. Which is so hot. They're so over. But anyway, we'll talk about Selena's men in a minute.
Coming up, yes.
Kiss breakup was hypocritical.
Oh, it totally was. It was awesome to write that.
It was so hypocritical of Bliss to go there with Casey. But at the same time, if you found out that your psycho mommy and her psycho ex-husband sent this guy
to basically keep tabs on you and like make you infiltrate and fill something for your biological family. Yeah, okay, I can kind of give her some leeway.
Yeah.
However, she came to town to seduce her sister's husband.
I feel like she was selfish.
She was.
But these are the attributes that Bliss needed to show in many ways. You know, these are attributes that Bliss needed around her, you know, in so many ways. This was... This was exactly...
I cried, okay, when we read it.
I don't know how to describe it because I damn sure didn't want Kiss to end. But we both knew that...
It had to happen.
It had to happen. So, we're now at the point where, yeah, we want Kiss to be together.
However, there may be some secrets.
Time, no, that... Bliss at this point, Bliss wouldn't be with Casey at this point. So we're really interested to play the beat of finally getting to play the best Bliss and Hunter beat.
Yes.
And what I love about that beat is we kind of went away from it when Ashley was here writing, and then when Kelly came back and they had a scene together, we were like, oh, they have chemistry again.
Yes.
Not to say Ashley and me didn't have chemistry. Please don't. Me and Ashley had great chemistry, but Hunter was so... With Ashley's take on Hunter was that he still loved her. Our take on Hunter was that he no longer loved her. Max, that is. And Ashley kind of wanted Hunter back in Max's orbit for a minute. And it was really interesting, actually, to see that side. She brought a softer side to Hunter, whereas Kelly brings a more, what's the word?
Hardened.
Hardened Hunter.
Yeah.
Hardened Hunter. It sounds like a bad porno.
I'm just saying. I'm teasing.
But like,
I think Hunter's a very complex character. Let's put it that way.
and
He's played Max's game long enough, but I think he was tired of it. I guess that's a good way to put it. He was tired of it.
very true. And I feel like that Hunter is the character that Bliss needs at this point. She needs a good guy. But when you're just starting to open doors in your family and you're just starting to get
Do you really want to do that?
you really want to
Get together with your sister's ex-husband.
with your sister's ex-husband who you broke up already.
Maybe.
No, you don't. So Bliss and Hunter have this very sexy,
And they're working together now. Lowell made them work together.
exactly. They have this very sexy push and pull coming up, where Bliss is trying her hardest, and Hunter's like, "No, you mine, girl." And it's like sexy.
And it's not that he doesn't care about Ilsa either. And I think that's interesting. Ilsa really is for him like that rebound stability because he's had Crazy Max for years on it.
Exactly. And I feel like Bliss is starting to crumble in a way. Like, she's like, "Hunter, stop it, please." And like, as you'll see, she actually even gets somebody else, ding, 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 to curb her appetite for Mr. Hunter.
True.
So, Hunter Blunt is coming, whether Max and the Devonshires want it or not. I don't think all the Devonshires are going to be too upset.
Max would.
That's going to be really pissed. And, especially because we might see Bliss and Max getting to a point where they're finding understanding, and then the sisters might end up not having so much of an understanding when she catches something happening. But that's not right now.
Yes.
So I'm opening my mouth too much.
Okay.
So
I'll talk about Kiss for a little bit.
you just KC. A lot of people said try KC and Ilsa, and we're such the group of writers that listen to our fan base, and we love our fan base.
However,
but at this point, we don't see Casey and Ilsa together because
Casey has a few more secrets up his sleeve. That's all I'm going to say.
So Casey and Ilsa aren't together at this point, but we can tell you that Ilsa is going to get a couple more storylines and hot moments and powerful things to come.
Yes.
We really are invested in her character. Like, if you read our behind the scenes blog post, go check it out. We're going to be updating them a lot, guys. We're going to have a vlog and a behind the scenes blog post. So you're going to be getting 2 doses of us. But we were originally going to make Ilsa Hunter's Lord, Forbes' daughter.
But that would have been...
And we're like, God, we've been there, done that 2 times over with Bliss and Hunter. I mean, with Ark and Bliss, we've done that 2 times over, and it's kind of boring now. So we were like, no, we're not going to do that.
But then we thought of Judge Stark and his little mystery backstory.
Well, his backstory is going to start getting revealed slowly but surely. And the interesting thing is, you found out that he has a son. You found out that he has a daughter. So what happened to the mama bear?
We don't know yet. Watch the next video.
Read the next episode. Maybe that's what you guys should do. Read the next episode.
What is that where we finish it today?
Maybe you'll even get it today or tomorrow.
Maybe. Well, hopefully.
All right.
Okay, I want Sorry.
Okay.
I
Go ahead.
I really love him. And I really cried when we wrote that scene because it was really tough for me.
It was. Kelly was like a mess. Like we were Skyping and calling each. Like I had to call. I think I Skyped her and was like,
Are you okay? And I'm like, anyway. Because I feel they're such a popular pairing on the show, and fans have said it kind of reminded them of episode 33, Jackson and Danny. And you can't get much bigger compliment than that, okay? As far as the breakup scene goes.
My boyfriend?
No, I don't want your sucker. I'm good.
It's nutritious.
Yummy. Okay.
it's delicious.
It's delicious. It's delicious. It's technically grape child, but
What do you say? Purple?
no, it's cherry, but it's grape. So I had a really hard time writing it. Like, Casey is a good guy, and I'm not saying like what he did was like right or anything, but at the end of the day, he did it with the best of intentions for his brother.
Unlike Bliss, he did it for the worst of intentions, which is money. So it's kind of like I said, I enjoyed playing hypocrite.
It was a beautifully done scene, and what I love so much about it is Casey and Lowell's showdown was just like, ooh, it was good.
It was,
Snap.
it was like, Casey didn't back down low, and that's one thing fans loved, and I loved it too. When we were writing it, I said, yes.
Casey's never backed down though, and I love that about his character. He never backs down. Except for, and I can't say when he does back down, but he does. And then, what I love so much about that scene, and yes, they're over for now, and Casey will try and win her back. I can't say how that's going to go. Obviously, Bliss is going to distract herself with some other men.
Bliss is starting to show her Devonshire
She
roots,
is.
and it's absolutely fun to watch. It's so delicious to watch.
It is. And I will say I do think Casey and Bliss are soulmates. They just have some shit to work through, okay?
Well,
Obviously.
I'm going to tell you offhand, Casey and Bliss are soulmates.
Yes.
But the heartbreaking moment for Bliss is that she gave her all to this guy. And
Yeah.
And can you imagine you believing in somebody so much and then to find out it was all a scheme? Whereas I don't feel like Hunter believed in Bliss that much. He just wanted an outlet at that time because he was hurt by what Max was doing to him. Whereas I think they had sexual chemistry, sexual tension, but I don't believe that Hunter and Bliss had that soulmate vibe. Whereas Casey and Bliss, that's her soulmate, and she knows that. She's pretty sure of that. But she right now at this point, she's so in her
She can't get over that she was played.
Yeah.
That's like unfathomable to her.
Yeah, that, and I think Audrey's death is gonna play a big thing on Bliss because
Her mommy shot her.
her mom killed Philip's mom, and her and Philip are old friends, and even though she hasn't had many scenes with him since me and Kelly separated them, I feel like she's gonna be heartbroken, and it hasn't manifested itself in the first scene that we're seeing Bliss in, but because she's with the hot guy. But it's a heartbreaking thing for her because no matter what she does, she feels like, you know, her mother will haunt her, and it's gonna haunt her with, you know, and she's heartbroken by it, you know. Could you imagine, like she's said numerous of times, and I think this is why the Devonshires now are starting to take heed of what Bliss was saying about Tess. Think about it. If your mother was a psycho who raised you to be a con artist and a thief and all these horrible things, would you want her to be around this new life that you're building and this new world that you're building for yourself?
Obviously not.
I can say that Tess might be being set up for something very impactful coming in the next couple of weeks. She's setting chain of events into motion that you haven't seen the last of Tess. That's for sure.
And and I think that's the point where, with Casey anyway, she feels betrayed by him. And I think that's totally normal. Like, I'd be pissed.
I think it's not only betrayal, it's it's a letting her guard down thing.
Yeah.
Where she let her guard down enough that somebody took her down. You know what I mean?
And I think from Casey's mind, he was doing it strictly to get what Forbes had on Lowell and Chauncey for his brother. And you saw it in, like, leading up to the ball, he backed out of the deal. He did not open that folder. And I think it's very noble of him. And he said he wouldn't do that to Bliss. And I think that's important. However, what I loved the most about that entire scene was Jackie comforting Bliss when Lowell was a jerk and walked away. Sorry. I love it.
Jerk. Okay, can I clarify this? Okay, because I feel like everybody's just saying Lowell's a jerk. Lowell's a jerk for leaving her. No, Lowell is not a jerk. If you have Pierre Leclerc hiding in your mansion, would you guys just sit there and just let him hide in your
But
mansion?
I think it's very interesting. This is where Chris and I got fun. But it's very interesting that Jackie comforted her.
Yes. I think it was probably one of my favorites.
It was one of my favorite scenes of the ball.
It was a moment where these two women finally
Semi-buried a hatchet, so to speak.
buried that old them. Well, I feel like Bliss had been slowly but surely burying it with Casey, but I feel like at this point, when she saw what her mother was truly capable, she dropped her anger with Jackie because she's been screwed over 3 times over by her mother, and she's tired of it, and it's just tiring for Bliss in many ways, and she understands how it feels as a woman to go through this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's...
And I like that her and Jackie could relate to different aspects of that.
Yeah.
And I think it's very interesting that the woman Lowell should be chasing after is his wife, but he's into, we'll get to Natasha in a little bit, in her little web.
Sure.
But I think it's very interesting that she's off comforting his his spawn with Tess. Not that Bliss is a spawn, but this thing that she feared for years. In a way, Jackie feared Bliss for years in this way that she feared Bliss so much they're actually bonding in a way. I think that's very interesting coming up. Anyway, that was one of my favorite scenes. I had to give a shout out. We wrote that. I still was crying when we wrote that scene too, okay, people?
Like, the next couple of months, Jackie and Bliss will form a mother and daughter bond. However, what could happen is that Jackie, it might be too late for Jackie and Lowell. So.
Anyway, yes.
That's it.
Okay, what's next? Oh, Selena and Herman. Let's talk about that. Okay, so. I really love Xavier, so you all know, and I love writing Lex.
Okay,
so
I'll be right back.
Okay. Xavier is Harvey's right-hand man at SEGS. You find out that he was hired right out of his MBA and went to work for Harvey and SEGS in France. And you find out that he's Josh's brother. And Harvey kind of dropped the bomb on him when they were heading towards this gala charity ball event that Xavier's actually not here for a few weeks. He's going to be here for a few years. And I think Harvey pointed out to him that he needed to step off the single train, and he saw Lex and Selena in their little moment. And what I love about Xavier is his first instinct is to go rescue the lady. And I think that's interesting because Selena is the type of character that doesn't need rescuing, but it was very fun to play, and I'm really excited for Xavier. I think he's going to warm up Josh's character, and not that Josh needs warming up, but he needs that family tie, and I think that's really important for them, and I'm excited for all of his SEGS involvement that he has coming up, and it's just a different... I write a lot of dark characters, so I like my lighter men and my lighter females.
Do I write a lot of dark? Yeah, I do. Bliss was kind of full of dark.
They are. And I think we need the funner, lighter men and the lighter females to just, like, balance that out. But anyway. And on the flip side, for Lex, Lex is a very troubled young man, I think. I think he's been groomed by his daddy to act a certain way and be a certain way. And I think he almost had that slice of heaven and happiness with Talia till he fucked that up. Sorry, bad. And then Talia went out and vetted Jackson, as you all know, and that was the end of his, like, little... I think that for him was a turning point, being that I'm just like my daddy. And I think when Talia's death happened, he really had to look back and say what could have been. And I think that's why right now he's so enamored with Miss Zoe and wanting that good girl, so to speak. That Lex. That Lex. Such
We'll
a
get on
fool.
Zoe in a minute.
Oh, such a fool. Anyway.
We'll get on Zoe in a minute.
And yes, as people have pointed out, Lex has a lot of chemistry with a lot of ladies, okay?
We know.
We know. And his
We're
scene...
giving him a solid pairing very soon.
Yes, and I think people would be happy with that. And I like that he came to the ball and he was very flirty with different women, and him trying to bed Danny was really funny. I had a blast writing that scene. That was funny, just so y'all know.
That was like one of the funniest
It was totally funny. He's like, even if you weren't
Daddy was so annoyed with him.
What?
Daddy was so annoyed with
It was
him.
funny. She's like, even if you were the last person, it would never happen. But I had a lot of fun writing it, because Lex is supposed to be like this cat on his A game, and Danny just be like, no. Anyway. But then he met Selena. And I like this Selena's this mystery. She has been in love with one man for most of her entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Who they just can't get it right. And I think that's a mystery about her that Lex really wants to unravel. And they have smoking hot chemistry, if you haven't all noticed. And
we had so much fun right now.
we did, and it was a lot of fun because I think you gotta see Lex different. Lex kind of saying, "You're kind of interesting," and I think Lex likes to chase. Lex likes to. Jackson said it best. He's a wolf on the hunt. Lex likes that little chase and capture. And so I thought it was very,
But will Selena be captured?
I know, it's very interesting. Anyway, so I like them both, and fans like them both.
And how will that play off on his bromance with Brayden? Because him and Brayden have a
They kind of have like this friendship frenemy thing going on, and I do like that.
Frenemy friendship thing going, and it's really kind of fun.
It is fun, and I will say that we do that really well on our show. We have like a lot of frenemies and friends, and I think that's something that a few reviewers have pointed out really well. We really focus in on family and friendships a lot, and that's so real in real life. I think like you have your friends you go hang out with, even married, like Dan and I go hang out with our best friends every other weekend or something like that, and I feel like some shows don't do that. But I think it's really important, like, at the ball to show those various friendships where you have Brayden and Lex.
And like Whitney and Danny, they're really close. And we have great friendships. But my view on Selena and her boys, I don't know.
You guys can keep voting. We haven't
decided. Yeah, like, we need input. Xavier and Selena have a very sweet chemistry. He's already taking care of her, and I think that's something that
so endearing and romantic of him. Would you all agree?
It's really romantic and endearing, and I think that's something that Selena needs at this point. She needs somebody there for her and in her corner, whereas Lex is just somebody dangerous. And he's a wild card. And Selena hasn't really done danger before. And I think that's what's tempting to her.
It is tempting. But yeah, Selena has a huge season coming up. I think she'll be sharing screen time with both men.
Yes.
And I think it'll be a lot of fun. She deserves it after her roller coaster of the last 15 years. I'm horrible.
She was like 18 when she got with Brayden, and she was young. And one thing I love with Selena and Brayden. They're like, we couldn't get it right, but we're gonna make sure Jackson and Danny does. You know, and I love
They
that.
always look out for Miss Danny and even Jackson in a
And
way.
Selena loves Danny and Jackson, so it's really an interesting dynamic at play.
It is.
So,
But now is Brayden going to feel that way when he wakes up? We will not know.
don't know.
If he comes back, Anyway.
If he wakes up.
He might be a little upset at the end of the day.
If he wakes up.
If he does.
Go
ahead.
I guess we can talk about
Zoe.
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 She had a lot of development at the ball.
I do. I think so. You finally kind of realize what she's after.
And why she's after all these people. Sorry. Excuse me.
It's okay.
Okay. One thing that we always kind of knew about Zoe, but I want to tell you guys, just because you know who her dad is.
Do you really?
Do you really? And what's up with all
Pierre's
Pierre,
situation?
it's a really twisted story. And more twists are coming. I can honestly tell you that. More twists are coming in Zoe's story. And by the end of the season, you might know who she is and you might not. You know, Pierre is our master manipulator. And could you imagine if he's manipulating this poor girl
to doing his dirty work and his revenge.
All of his dirty work. And for her to find out something else is at play. It's gonna be really delicious. Pierre's gonna open Zoe up in a way that no other character can. Zoe is gonna be. Well, let's talk about her drug trade.
I know people who are evil. I know.
People were like screaming at their computer screens. They were really mad at Zoe for doing that. She's
How do you explain that one away?
She's our revenge girl. She's our girl who's out for revenge, and that's the best thing I can tell you guys.
And I don't know. I think we may see a little bit of guilt on it. She did rescue. She did rescue
Dylan.
Dylan.
You're gonna find Dylan and. Okay.
I'm going on a tangent again. Yes, I love it when we do this. We just like randomly skip around.
Dylan and Maddie are gonna discover something about Zoe, and it's gonna be interesting. That's all I'm gonna say. The kiddies are at play. I think me personally, I really was interested in how General Hospital has incorporated their kids. And these are 10-year-olds. They're not dumb. They're not stupid. They're not...
And I think we showed that in the hospital, like with Dylan. He was like, where's Talia? And he was asking questions, and I like that we can play that with these kids now. Or they're going to start asking and being a little snoopy, and it'll be fun.
Mama, get more tape?
How about you not get any more candy?
What some?
Well, okay. Just drag the chair over to the oven and get some.
Huh?
Put the chair over to the oven and you can reach it, okay? Go get some.
Okay.
Okay.
Mommy say yes?
And Mommy said yes. Okay, go ahead.
This is... I guess we can wrap up our ball conversation soon. But this is one thing that fans should be paying a lot of attention to. Ophelia. The big O, as I like to call her. Yeah, she's a little cuckoo.
That's fun.
It's really fun to play.
Why?
It's got slobber.
It's got slobber on it? Okay. Go ahead.
Ophelia actually had an affair in medical school with James.
So dirty. So dirty and good.
Yeah, it's so dirty. Walker is, if you don't know, is Arya and
Ryan's daddy.
And she had an affair with him during that time, and Ophelia had a baby. And you're gonna find out a lot more coming up when Ophelia actually kidnaps one of the very pregnant women and she takes another one hostage. And you're going to be finding out a lot more of
her backstory, so to speak.
Backstory and why Ophelia is so cuckoo.
For cuckoo puffs.
She's going to kidnap somebody and it's going to be really cool. And she's going to do a lot of heinous things in episode 43.
I'm really cold.
Well, go get some. You go get some real close. I'll be up in a minute. Go ahead.
That will lead to her giving away one of the babies to her brother and sister.
We don't want to spoil anything else.
But
yes, it's coming up.
I'm pretty sure that fans, any eagle-eyed
True.
can pretty much catch that beat that we're trying to play. So,
it'll be a lot of fun. So yes, that scene was fun, and I'm excited for coming up.
Yeah, like, I don't want to say anymore, but there's a kidnapping and a baby shower in 43. And that's all I'm saying.
And then, we have to talk about Natasha and Lowell.
This scene, Lowell actually...
She is such an evil little bitch, okay, everybody?
Lowell surprised a lot of people. All to show his true colors.
Yes.
I feel like Lowell is the type of character that wants the world at his disposal and will do anything to get the world at his disposal. However, Lowell learned a dangerous lesson when he went up against Forbes and Pierre, and he lost. But that doesn't mean that Lowell lost his edge, and
it's kind of coming back now.
It's kind of coming back.
And that scene with Tony, it was kind of bone chilling.
Yeah, like, and then he turns around and he kisses Natasha, and then Natasha locks up
Jackie in a room. I don't care.
But we're in the next couple of scenes. In the next two episodes, 41 and 42, you're gonna get a lot of fallout from Audrey's death. And you're going to get a lot of interesting story from Lowell on why he did what he did and how Audrey's death affects him and how the storyline is going to, with Natasha.
I think I did.
Sorry, I'm covered in stickers.
I see.
I like it. I think it's a side of Lowell readers haven't really seen, but they've been asking for a really long time. They want to see Lowell of the 80s come back and be this
badass.
I will do anything to ensure my company and my family is at the top, and I don't really care how I go about it. And I think it's very interesting. I know, I have a lot of stickers on me. What I love so much about the ball is you can already see the seeds going for his relationship with Natasha. And I think what'll be so interesting is at the end of the day, Lowell may have all of this power, and please don't cover my mouth with a sticker. All this power and prestige, and he may have his company and his children, but does he really have what matters at the end of the day? And I think that's going to be a very interesting development for the next few seasons on the show. I have a mustache. It's more like a sticker on my face. Okay. What would you say to that?
I just love this new Lowell. I love writing more sides to him. You know, he has more sides. he has more sides than just him being the supportive father
Yes.
and the nice guy. And he is all of that. He's nice, but he also has these other shades.
I think it'll be interesting with the what happened and what was revealed at the ball and all different angles. Like a lot of stuff he did was revealed. You had the Casey reveal. You had the Walter reveal. And I think his kids and his relationship is going to change. And I think that's very interesting to play. And I think readers, even in the scene with Tony, pointed out, you can already see it happening. Like Tony pointed out, there was this ice that went around Lowell that was like 25 years in the making. And it was interesting. And I think readers are really looking forward to that. And we all know, because we mentioned a lot, when Lowell freezes people out or when he gets a little too greedy, he likes to throw away what's important at home. And so, well, Miss Natasha's been lurking around.
But what I can say about Natasha is she's my favorite new character.
Thanks.
And
Chris knows I'm never saying when I write her.
hands down, she is my favorite new character that we have on our canvas. But Natasha also needs and has to have a rival. You have to have to make Natasha viable against people, then she has to go up against people. And in the coming episodes, you're going to see Natasha finally get.
What happened? What? Did the kitty scratch you?
No.
What happened? What happened? You feel on his Legos. Go ahead.
Well, I think you're about to see a lot of shades of her. And what do you really know about Natasha? How far will Natasha go to get what she wants? And that's the fun of her character.
It is fun.
So, I don't think many of you know, Natasha was very inspired by the character, an old character Kelly and I wrote.
Mommy, he bit
Uh-oh.
me.
Ooh. Tempo.
So.
Oh. Okay. Give Mama hugs. Okay, go ahead. He got bit by the cat. He was mean to him, so. But yes, Natasha's very much so molded. And she's a lot of fun.
She was very inspired by an old character Kelly and I wrote, and she was inspired by Ava Jerome.
Okay, no, don't release my hair. Fine. It's very messy today. You did take it off.
You want to What the magic? Like we want first,
So what you do when you're a 3-year-old?
You buy it.
Yeah, she's very... And I will say thank you all for the compliments. Yes, she's worse than Anna ever was in Dangerous Times, okay? Natasha's a new breed of vixen that I've written, and...
Mama,
What?
it's by you.
Don't plug my ears, I'm trying to talk. Ow, that hurts. Wait, silly, go get some pants and socks. Okay, I'll be up in a minute. Okay? You go get your pants.
Give me my pack.
But she is like a new breed of vixen, and I like that I get to do different things with her. And she's like an onion. That's all I'm going to say about her. She has many different sour layers
Mom.
that by appearance and taste could be sweet. But when you start peeling an onion, your eyes kind of water and you kind of want to throw it out. So, that's the best analogy I can come up with for her. But overall, I would say the ball was a huge success.
I would say the ball was a huge success. I would say the ball changed our canvas, changed our story. If you're going to do an event, this is how you make sure that you actually have something worthy of
Okay, stop.
a story that's you have something worthy of the event that you're trying to do.
Mom, can you be
That's
quiet?
why we chose to kill off Audrey. That's why we chose to do a lot of the major story work here. Oh, can I tell everybody thank you for the campy test?
Yes.
Everybody loved Tess being this camp ball. And one thing I loved about doing that was Blissful
totally
don't get a
campy.
chance to write camp. We really don't.
We don't, like, ever. We are
don't
pretty
really
serious
get-
most of the time.
Yeah.
I
we don't-
got swap for you.
So to get a chance to write this fun, soapy, splashy reveal for Casey and Bliss was amazing. I got to do 2 big soapy reveals.
You did.
My baby.
I got to do Pierre, and I got to do, and they both happened on stage.
They did. It was very awesome. Go get some.
You know,
Open your
and
door.
I love that.
Be quiet when you look at my cake.
In a minute.
Mom, give
You go get your own candy.
me, I want 2 cake.
We'll go grab them yourself with the chair on by the stove.
Mom, Mom, give me.
Okay. Yes. Go ahead. Finish.
I really want to thank everybody because we don't get a chance to do camp.
You never do camp. Camp is.
Oh my God.
I'm not a big fan of it, but when done right, I feel it can be very impactful, and that's how we wrote it. And I love that we got so many compliments because I was a little worried about it, that it was going to be too soapy and too campy, but it was just right. And I think because we had her be this campy crazy, I guess is a good way to describe her.
If you look at the crazy we're doing somebody driven crazy. We're doing somebody who naturally, biologically, it was already in her family. Lauren. Well, somebody who's naturally crazy, I feel like is Ophelia. She just was naturally always crazy. And I feel like Lauren has suffered through her
Lauren
family.
was pushed.
Yeah, Lauren was pushed into her craziness. And then we have Tess, who just is our Heather Weber / Janet from another planet / super crazy bitch. And I don't feel like Lauren is crazy. I feel like Lauren has an illness. And whereas
Lauren's been through a lot in her
whereas
life.
Tess and Ophelia, they are just regular soap crazy.
And I think during the flashback episode, you'll see that seeds in Tess and Lauren. Like, you'll really see how they got to where they are, and I think that's important.
Yeah, give me my
Exactly.
cup.
But we want to thank everybody.
The ball was wonderful. Thank you all.
Thank you for the ball. We appreciate all the good and kind words that you gave us. We really want to make sure that you guys are continuously reading and reviewing. Review. We love you guys.
And they do. And I like that we have reviewers that do it in steady droves. And even if they don't do it right that week or the next week, they always write us an email or an IM. And it's wonderful when we hear that.
And we just want to thank our fans because whether you read, Blissful isn't a show you can just jump into in my eyes. It's a show that you have to read continuously to get the payoff. And our fans continuously read and they continuously will be rewarded. And we thank you guys and we will always listen to you guys. We won't just, if you guys feel like something's off or wrong,
Tell us.
we will always listen.
Yes.
And we aren't one of those writers that don't listen to your input. So if you guys see chemistry with the character that maybe we didn't see, or you guys see storylines that maybe we didn't see,
There you go.
Shoot us an email.
just say email because we're always open to new and fresh ideas. But
Thank you for the ball.
Thank you guys for all the love and support that Blissful
My baby, be quiet. Can you be quiet?
What?
But Patrick wants to get dressed. He wants me to wrap it up so I can go get him dressed.
Well, Pat, you're a young man now. You can go get your clothes.
Can't reach him. They're in the closet.
But thank you guys. We appreciate it, and we appreciate all of you. Pat appreciates, even though he probably is like, you people drive me crazy.
Sometimes.
But you know, we appreciate all the love and support that we get.
Probably tickles. Get that out of your pants.
Stop! It's my underwear. It's my phone.
I know it's in your underwear. Take it out of your underwear.
Okay. On that note, we love you guys. We'll talk to you
Bye.
later. And be looking out for the casting.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.